happens when 4 flat earthers and 4 globers travel to Antarctica to observe the 24-hour sun? Something that can only happen on a globe Earth.
Today we will have a look at flat earth stupidity found on TikTok by the one and only flatearthbanjo.
What happens when 4 flat earthers and 4 globers travel to Antarctica to observe the 24-hour sun? Something that can only happen on a globe Earth. Questions. That's what happens. Lots of questions.
It's quite obvious. She stated it herself. It confirms that we live on a globe.
The very first question I had was, how do we know they're in Antarctica? They didn't live stream the trip there, and maybe that wasn't feasible. But why isn't there any record of anyone tracking their flight on an app like FlightAware?
Several of them that was a part of this expedition did film the whole trip from Argentina to the Antarctica, and you could follow the flight on several different trackers, for instance, Flight Radar 24.
Also, if you're making an expedition, you have to have a permit to travel to Antarctica, and so far, there isn't one.
And she's wrong. If you travel with the organizing trips to Antarctica, you don't need a permit. That's the company's duty to get permissions to have arrangements, trips to Antarctica.
The second question is, why didn't it seem cold on the stream when they were talking on camera? There was no visible breath, no wind distortion on the microphones, and no snow blowing or even ice glare in the air.
They was in the desert, one of Earth's driest areas in the summertime, and it was only some degrees below 0 Celsius. It's obvious that she lives in an area where you don't have real winters.
Plus, some of them wore relatively light cold weather gear at the South Pole in December.
Oh dear, they were in the southern hemisphere. In December, it's summer there.
But anyways, let's move on to how interactive the live stream was. It was billed as a 24-hour stream. There was little interacting with the viewers. There was no live verification from third-party observers or satellites, no independent timestamping, no GPS overlays, and no broadcast triangulation to prove they were where they claimed.
There were several live broadcasts from there. Witsit did it, Journeys did it, MC Toon called up Nathan Oakley live. Where's your gun, Nathan? You can find all this on YouTube.
So why does that matter? A real scientific experiment would offer third-party verification and location authentication. This did not.
You could follow the flight there on Flight Radar 24, for instance. They was broadcasting live. They did show the GPS coordinates and so on. And if you have the money, you can go there by yourself to the same place. Perhaps in December this year.
Aside from the lighting anomalies, which is not my area of expertise.
And what is your area of expertise? You haven't shown any areas that you understand anything about in this video.
This project gives more questions than answers. And altogether, they paint a picture of a controlled set masquerading as a remote polar outpost, which is definitely a setup feasible for today's technology. Supporters call the final experiment historic. Skeptics call it the biggest production hoax since the moon landing. What do you think? Was the final experiment a fraud?
No, it wasn't. And your video, the only thing you proved is that you don't understand the most basic things. Let's move on to the next fool.
Is the Earth round or flat?
The Earth's flat.
Do you think the Earth is round or flat?
I know we didn't go to the moon.
We didn't go to the moon?
No, we didn't go to the moon.
Why do you say that?
Because you can't get out of the atmosphere.
Really? What do you mean?
Why don't we go look at underwater or past the ice? That's where it's at. They want you to look up. They don't want you to look on our own ground.
Think the Earth is flat?
I don't know.
Oh dear. this explains a lot of things for me regarding the situation in this world.
Yeah, once again, it's time gate moments right in your face. Now, 3 things. Number 1, how comes the furthest horizon is always the highest point in the distance? Now, this is impossible on a globe that is supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
There he lost me. What do the rotation of the Earth have to do with the horizon?
We are talking basic cosmography.
What are he talking about?
The second thing is that the horizon, regardless of elevation and distance, always remains level and horizontal. Now, this is only possible on a flat and a stationary Earth.
He even don't know the basic flow of arguments. They claim that it always is at eye level, and secondly, the rotation of Earth have nothing to do with the horizon.
The third point is even more simple. How comes these simple clouds, which are completely detached from the Earth, are not affected by the fictitious 1,000 miles an hour counter spin?
And the simple answer is gravity. You know, the thing that gets this apple to fall down.
Let's check out what the bottom of this says. Globes are not meant for educational purposes. But only decorative. Because this is a lie. Hallelujah.
A great proof for flat Earth, according to the big fool flatearthbanjo.
Alright, see this container? It's a big ass container of water, big tub. It's on these pieces of wood, but it's actually not level. So here's proof of water always finding level at rest. So if you go to this side, you measure it, we're looking at about 1 inch. Now if you go over here, we're looking at about 2 inches. And then you go over here, and it's about the same, about 2 inches. So the reason that's happening is because water always finds level at rest. No matter what you do, it will always do that. That's fluid dynamics and the laws of water finding level at rest. Earth is flat.
This is really groundbreaking flat Earth science. Oh dear.
I hate to break it to you, but satellites are fake. They don't exist as described. Please tell me who believes these images are real. And I know a lot of you are going to have a problem with it. I know the keyboard warriors are going to slap on their black gloves with the fingertips cut off and let me know what geniuses, prodigies, and intellectuals you all are. You guys are so smart.
Yes, compared to you, we are smart.
But in reality, believing in satellites is actually the dumbest shit ever because it is theoretically and physically impossible.
Will he present any type of evidence for that silly claim? What do you think?
So let's get into it. Satellites allegedly reside in the thermosphere.
No, most of them are not in that area. It depends on the purpose of the satellite. They can be from 100 kilometers to 35,000 kilometers.
Now thermal means dealing with heat. So how hot are we talking? According to them, up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. Do you know how hot that is? As hot as a blast furnace. Now the melting points of the materials used in satellites, which are aluminum, titanium, and gold, are all well below 2,000 degrees Celsius. So those satellites would be literal balls of flame.
No, they wouldn't be. But why bother trying to teach a fool about reality?
We're supposed to believe that there are over 10,000 satellites in space, hurtling over 17,000 miles an hour, and over 25,000 pieces of space junk. Well, where are they? Somehow in all those feeds we're given in those CGI portions of the Earth, we can never see one of these tin cans hurtling through space. Not one.
And they are spread around the globe, which is a quite big planet. And then from a height on 100 kilometers to 35,000 kilometers. Oh dear, it's far between each satellite. If you look at Earth, how many cars do we have on Earth?
Oh, but what about satellite phones? We get perfect service everywhere because it's beamed from outer space, right? Wrong. You know damn well the moment you're out of your city, your service starts to decline. All your mobile technologies are ground-based. Cell towers, those sea cables, base stations, and so on.
Oh dear, an ordinary smartphone is not a satellite phone. They are ground-based, but not satellite phones.
And what about GPS? Same thing. By measuring the signal strength differences between multiple cell towers, or better known as cell tower triangulation, it can pinpoint your exact location. No satellites required.
And how do it work in the middle of the oceans, on the North Pole, in Antarctica? You don't have any cell phone coverage, but the GPS will work. How about that? This collection of stupidity I did find at flatearthbanjo's channel. Banjo thinks he's some kind of expert, flat earth expert. But if you look at this rubbish, everything I showed here is very easy to debunk, and it proves that the persons presenting it don't understand the basic things regarding science, the world we live on, and so on. And the same goes for the full flat earth banjo. This was all for today. I will be back soon. Hope you liked the video. See you soon. Bye.